Welcome to this day of Elul, which I think is the 6th day of Elul. And in this month, Howard and I, and sometimes Diane and David and Dominic, are sounding the shofar every day. Today, we're going to be talking, it's just going to be Howard and me today because Diane and David are at some fancy dinner in Italy, and Dominic is not feeling well. So send prayers and blessings toward Dominic. He's got a little cold, I think. But today we're going to talk about the letter that's affiliated with the month of Elul. Each of the months has a letter affiliated with it according to Sefer Yetzirah, which is the book of creation, which is written in the early, 2nd to 5th century, sometime in there. And the letter that's affiliated with the month of Elul is the letter Yud. The letter Yud, I'm going to show you some, let's see where I can find my camera. This is the letter Yud in one font. It looks like a little comma or mostly an apostrophe. Here's another font, one that I just painted myself. But mostly it just looks like a little tiny dot. It's a little jot. And the letter Yud is that it represents that one point, that point into which the divine contracted themselves in the process of tzimtzum, or making space, in order for the universe to be created. Because before the creation of things, there was only the divine, is the story. So that Yud represents that one point. It's the representative of a seed or a sperm, that smallest of all the letters that contains everything within it. And we say that because that point is the beginning of all the letters, and all of the letters start with a Yud in that way, and that you put your pen down or your quill down on the parchment or paper, and you've got that Yud to start with. In some fonts, it also looks like a flame reaching up toward the divine. It's the first letter of the Tetragrammaton, the Yud He Vav He, which is the name of God, the unspeakable, unspoken name of the divine. It's the name that means that which was, that which is happening and becoming and will become in the future. It's a contraction of the verbs to be in past, present, and future. If you take the Yud away from the Yud He Vav He, you get Hoveh, which means to be, but the Yud adds that extra action. It is becoming. The Yud is also the first letter of the word Yad, and it's represented by a hand in the Paleo Proto-Hebrew. And it represents, again, the divine, as it is said that the divine outstretched their hand to take us out of slavery, out of Egypt, out of Mitzrayim, the narrow place. So the Yud has all of that within it. Also, I just watched a video this morning and read a text from Chabad, which says that Yud represents the Yid, the Jew, in all things. And sometimes you'll see the divine name written as Yud Yud, meaning Adonai. We pronounce it Adonai, but it really represents the divine name, because as this Chabad rabbi said, when two Jews stand next to each other in equality, it is a unification of divinity. The Yud is also the number 10 in Gematria. So Aleph through Tet is 1 through 9 with single digits, and then you get into double digits. So you have the 1, which is the 1 of the divine, plus 0, which makes it kind of an infinity, because 0 is this representation of nothingness, but also everythingness. So that 10 shows up over and over again in Torah and in life. We have the 10 utterances which the divine used to create the universe. We have, of course, the 10 commandments and the 10 Sefirot, which are the divine emanations in Kabbalah, which is written about in the Kabbalistic texts, which are saying that the emanations of divinity come down to us through these 10 different aspects. So all these different 10s, there's also 10 generations from Adam to Noah, and from Noah to Abraham, and there are the 10 tests of Abraham. There's just all these 10s that show up It's one of those magical numbers. It represents this month also is affiliated with the tribe of Gad, which we'll talk about in another later video. But this letter is also affiliated with Gad, which means luck. So there's an element of luck that's affiliated with the Yad and the Yud and the Yid as well. So, and there's also a wonderful story that this rabbi told this morning, and I don't have all the names of the historical rabbis about it, but a very famous rabbi was learning, and he was told that when he saw the two Yuds next to each other, he should say the divine name, which I'm sure was not pronounced as Yud He Vav He, but as Adonai or Hashem. And when he went home, this was when he was a child, he went home to his father and he started reading, and every time he would come to the end of a section, he saw the two dots, and he would say Hashem. And his father said, "Why do you keep saying Hashem?" And he said, "Because my teacher told me every time you see two Yuds next to each other, you should say Hashem, the divine name." And his father said, "No, when you see two Yuds next to each other, that's an equality. That is two Jews standing next to each other in equality, one equal with the next and in communion together. But if you see one on top of the other, that's somebody suppressing another person and putting themselves above. And that is the end of a sentence. That is a division between each other and a division between us and the divine." So keep that in mind the next time you see that two dots on top of each other versus the two Yuds next to each other representing divinity.
Can I add one little thing?
Sure.
You referred to it as a jot, and that is actually where the word jot comes from.
Oh, yeah.
It's an English pronunciation of Yud.
Of Yud. Oh, one more thing. The spelling of Yud is Yud Vav Dalet. And so when we're talking about Elul as being this month of preparation and getting ready for the birthday of the world, you have the Yud, which is that sperm symbol, the Vav, which is a channel or a phallus, and the Dalet, which is a doorway or a birth canal. So it's as if that's the entirety of creation coming into existence with the word Yud itself. So with that, let's do some shofar sounding. Tikia. Shvarim. Tikia.
Tikia. Trua. Tikia.
Tikia. Shvarim trua.